Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am EonShiKeno, and as you can see today, I'm not going to be talking about StarCraft. I'm going to start talking about Diablo 3. It's coming around the corner. You know, the betas and all that good stuff. So I'm going to start producing some Diablo 3 content. Today, we're going to specifically talk about crafting and what that has to do with Diablo 3. So today, I have with me TimeLord and CowFu. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good, yep.
Pretty excited about Diablo 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for this for a while. I remember the first time I played Diablo 1, I was like, "Whoa, look at all these monsters and stuff." And I'm killing them. But yeah, it's been a long time, so I'm definitely ready for Diablo 3. You guys have played I guess all Diablo 2 and 1 and all that good stuff? Time Lord?
Yeah, I started off my Wii gaming with Blizzard with Diablo 1. I played so much Diablo 1, it's not even funny. I know everything about it. Like, there is no cow level and all that fun stuff. And then Diablo 2, I had 8 level 99s. I was the pimp boss killer. Pintle skin bots. Oh, man. That's when Diablo 2 was so cool. But I'm really ready for Diablo 3.
So,
That's for sure.
what character are you going to start off with here first, Time Lord?
Probably stick to my standard barbarian. I love being melee, dude, killing some stuff, taking some damage. It's pretty fun.
Nice. And CowFu, tell us a little bit about your Diablo history.
I can remember Diablo being the first game that scared the crap out of me when I was younger. The Just the scenery of that game was outstanding. Of course, the fun of going around killing every single monster that you could get anywhere on your screen was outstanding. And Diablo 2 was just a giant step up from that. So I am really looking forward to Diablo 3 just to see how far they can take this series.
Yeah, I think they're going to do pretty well with it, hopefully. I've got my fingers crossed on it. I don't want it to be horrible, obviously. But, anyways, back to the topic of today. We're going to talk about crafting, talk about artisans, and how it's going to relate, how it's going to affect Diablo 3. So, go ahead and talk a little bit about crafting here, CowFu.
Well, in Diablo 3, there's not going to be any skill or attribute points. Almost all of the customization for your character is going to be in his inventory and his equipment. A big part of that is going to be crafting. There's not going to be the old style of farm, hunt, and hope for drops. You're still going to get those random drops, but a lot of it's going to be getting these recipes, getting the materials for the recipes, and crafting your own gear, enhancing it, making it. It's looks like it's going to be an outstanding system, but your character itself isn't going to be doing the crafting. It's going to be through these artisans that you'll pick up along the way. They're going to be quests, just kind of like how you got Deckard Cain in Diablo 2, who identify your items. Now you're going to be getting these artisans who do your crafting for you. They level up. They follow you around to the different quest lines. It should be a pretty good system.
Yeah, and that's going to be really cool because, as you know, Diablo 2, WoW, it's all about how unique your character is. You know how it looks. If everybody's the same level, they're the same way. That's no fun. Having tons and tons of different ways to find recipes, craft your guy to make it as unique as possible is awesome. Big time cool.
Yeah, so since of course they're removing all like from Diablo 2 the individualized skill trees where you would focus on the skill and then you wouldn't have other skills. That's getting removed and is being replaced by I guess a different type of way to differentiate your character from other characters is through this crafting system, through weapons and gear and different recipes like that to make this certain gear. So let's talk about the three different artisans we've got here. So the first we've got the blacksmith. He's going to be like your big burly guy. He's going to have his big, blacksmith hammer. He's going to walk up and have an attitude probably, and he's going to be able to repair items and add sockets to items that already do not have sockets. And, he's going to eventually, from what I know, he'll be able to specialize in either like swords or shields or different types of weapons as far as I've been able to, learn so far.
Yeah, actually, he's supposed to be the melee class. Plate mail, chain mail. I hope his name is like Griswold the Third or something. That'd be awesome.
I
And
really like that they're separating these out into the blacksmith. It just adds a lot of flavor to the game, and I'm a huge fan of scenery and flavor in these games.
yeah, for sure. Just like going through the environments and the just like the world they is not it's not a vanilla like black and white world. It has a lot of like depth to it, and I think they're gonna add that here with the characters. 'Cause these guys are basically gonna follow you around the whole game. Like if you leave town to go to the next town, they're gonna follow you because they know they can make a lot of money off of you. Obviously, right? They're gonna be like your Uncle Ray, who comes to stay for 2 days and ends up being there for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, you'll get to love him because he's just always around. And you can't deal without him. I mean, heck, you need him to repair, especially the blacksmith.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get those weapons repaired and stuff like that. So let's go to the next artisan, the Mystic. CowFu, you want to talk about her for a little bit?
Sure, the Mystic is going to handle pretty much the equipment that the blacksmith won't, more of the magical and along those lines. She's going to enchant weapons. She's going to give us the staves, wands. She's going to do a lot of the things that we used to see from the magical vendor in Diablo 2.
Yeah, she's going to be able to create scrolls, rune stones, which is going to be a pretty big deal in Diablo 3, and potions, right? She'll be able to, create potions, buy potions from her. So if you need to buy health potions, you'll probably go to this lady. And if Harry Potter was in Diablo 3, he would go to her to get his wand extended or whatever they do with wands, right? I have to defer to TimeLord. He's the Harry Potter guy.
Harry Potter, yeah. Wands.
Her big thing is going to be the enchant weapons, though. That is by far and away what she is going to be used for. The random enchants on the recipes rolling to get better. It's going to be, I think, a huge material sink for a lot of players.
Yeah, I think what they're going here as for the enchanting is going to be basically like WoW. Yeah, you're going to be probably referring a lot of stuff to WoW and Diablo 2 is because Blizzard made those, so they're probably going to be going back to the same stuff that's worked before. So enchanting, I think it's going to be like you get like enchanting, like okay, does more elemental damage. When you attack twice as fast for so long. I think that's the type of enchanting that they're going for. Is just unique enchants to weapons and. Later on, probably, you can enchant probably not all your stuff, but most of your stuff, like your armor and stuff. So I think that's the way they're going with enchanting, as it looks like it right now.
And there's an important spin between the changes they're making Diablo 3 versus WoW, is that the enchants do have a range that they're going to be random. So we will have people farming their enchants to get the best possible roll they can off their enchants, which will lead to more equipment grinding, which a lot of people in Diablo just absolutely love.
And our next artisan, the jeweler, looks like a hippie. In this picture, he's got the peace sign going there with the long beard. So let's see, he's going to be dealing with jewelry, amulets, rings, gems, all the pretty stuff you got on the fingers and toes and around the neck. The bling bling, I guess. This guy's in control of the bling. And he's going to be able to remove gems, combine gems. There's 14 levels of gems in Diablo 3, but only the lowest 5 will be able to be dropped from monsters. All other gems of higher quality, you'll have to, I guess you'll have to combine them, right?
Yeah, we'd probably combine them in. We didn't talk about what the jeweler also is like the Horadric Cube of Diablo 2.
Yeah,
he's going to be combining all the gems, and that's how you're going to get the higher up gems. So yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have a big stash full of all these like little shards of gems, and you'll have to get like 10 of them or whatever together to upgrade them to the next level, and then have like 3 of that type to upgrade to the next level, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and about the gem qualities levels, like you said, there's 14 of them. And I'm going to list them out here because they're pretty interesting, really. The first one is going to be chipped, and then it's going to go to flawed, normal, flawless, and radiant. It seems pretty standard from there, but now we're going into a square gem, flawless square, radiant square, and then we're going to round, flawless round, radiant round, and then star, flawless star, and then radiant star.
Ace.
So there's no going to be perfect gems anymore. The top one is radiant star with some squares in there.
A star gem? How does that even work? Is that even physically possible?
I just like that the square seems to be a quality above radiant.
Yes.
Seems really out of place.
But speaking of like multiple levels, like these artisans individually will have their own levels. As you level up the artisans, they will be able to have the ability to, do more of what they do basically. Like I think what is there 5 levels total, and at certain points, like the area they work in, like their shop, will have a physical change. So at the beginning, the blacksmith will have like this, shack or whatever with wood and stuff and like a, old hammer. But then as you level him up, his shop is going to physically look different. And it'll reflect that in the game visually, which I think is a really cool thing, just another thing to throw there into the game.
Yeah. Once he levels up, he's just going to get pimped out. He's going to have, like you said, he's going to probably have like 4 or 5 anvils and just like banging 5 hammers at once because he's like the master at blacksmithing.
No.
Awesome.
Whenever he's the highest level, he's not even going to be doing the blacksmithing anymore. He's going to be subcontracting that out to the guys in the back. Like behind the shop, there's going to be like 10 guys, like that he dragged in from Tristan or wherever. As he's paying them like nickels and dimes for, and they're hammering out swords in the back. And he's like, "Check out this awesome sword I just made."
Let's hope he upgrades himself into a suit and nice little top hat too.
Yeah, he's like, "Good sir." So but I think, but before you can even start leveling up your artisan, just to have him do any work for you, you're gonna have to do missions for him or quests for him to gain his confidence, so that he'll start working for you. From what I've read so far. What have you guys?
That's what it looks like it's going to be. You're going to have to do some quests for him to gain his trust, so he'll start working for you. Then you're going to have to give him work to do in order to level him up to be able to do more recipes and just get better and better artisans.
Yeah, and talking about recipes, I think that's going to be one of the more fun thing to do in Diablo 3 is finding recipes, because that's a cool thing to you find a cool ass recipe and it could be really badass, and then you can make like 5 or 6 or 7 of them, give them to your friends and stuff because you found like a badass recipe. And like if you're one of the first ones to find these recipes, everybody's going to be asking you like, "Hey, can you make this for me?" and stuff like that. So that's going to be really cool about recipes once you get higher up.
Oh, so recipes, I'm not familiar with WoW, so forgive me. Actually, I don't really care about it. I don't mind. But so recipes is something you can use more than once, right?
Right. It's going to permanently teach it to your artisan, so you can make that item over and over as long as you have the right materials to make it.
And then I guess you could just sell it to people if you wanted to. That's going to be what people are going to be doing. They're going to get a recipe. And that's kind of like the how when you print money, they have like the metal printing. What is that called? I forget. The plaque or whatever. But you're gonna be able to
can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm like you're saying, like the recipes are going to be very valuable because they're going to be able to let you make all of these items an infinite number of times as long as you have the items to go into it.
As long as you have the materials, which that's probably going to be another huge part of the game, is going to be salvaging your items into these materials so that you can keep up your crafting. And a big part of salvaging is going to be the Nephilim Cube, which is going to be kind of like how the Heraldric Cube was. It's going to travel around with you, but instead of combining items, you're going to be putting them in there to break them down into these raw materials for crafting. It's going to help out with inventory space. It should be... I'm looking forward to it because I would always have to make that horrible decision of what do I drop because something good just fell off the monster.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I think that's going to be... that's going to be... Because if you need, like, one item and it's, like, a rare material, you're going to be, like, sitting there doing, like, 30 different things and, like, yes, finally got it, and you can make your one item. I think that's how it's gonna be end up getting. So some of these higher up recipes are gonna be probably pretty rare to get because just getting the materials alone from salvaging is just gonna be tough as hell.
And as far as crafting materials go, so far I think there's been, 3 or 4 that have actually been named, but in the future they're going to add a lot more crafting materials.
That's what it looks like. I know that we have so far. We have bone. Oh, I don't even remember them all. It's
Subtle
bone,
essence.
scraps, essences, and wood. I think are the 4 that have been announced so far, and they have names like common scraps, subtle essence. You'd imagine there's higher qualities of even the essences scraps, which is just gonna go up and up and up until you're farming Diablo in hell mode.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you're gonna probably end up with like legendary scraps where it's like so rare to get that to make your one piece of cool crafting recipes. So yeah, salvaging is just gonna be huge, another huge sink into money because hell, you're probably gonna just try to buy because of auction house now, you can just buy a whole bunch of random crap to salvage,
Hmm.
and
But more than likely,
that's
you're gonna have to salvage that extremely rare, super legendary sword in order to get that one scrap that you need in order to enhance your item in some way.
yeah.
I've got a question. Do you think whenever you salvage an item, do you think the crafting materials that it gives you is going to be random, or is that just going to be always the same based on that item?
I can definitely see Blizzard making it somewhat random, just like they've done throughout the Diablo series. Higher quality monsters drop higher quality loot, but you never know exactly what's there. Higher quality loot is going to drop higher quality materials with a nice little random in there. You're not sure how many you're going to get, or even if you're going to get that really rare random material.
Yeah, and I bet like if it's like a magic of like the same level, a magic item of the same level is not going to give the same items as like a rare or a unique. So the higher up the like magic, rare, unique, you're probably going to get a better chance at getting better materials.
And that would fit right along with the Diablo. So that sounds right.
Yeah, I wonder if any recipe is gonna require like Diablo's horns. That's gonna be like an aphrodisiac recipe you have to give to like one of the artisans.
Hey, you
Make me
never
a
know.
potion.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about crafting here? We've dug into it pretty deep so far.
Well, one of the last things that I have is that when you actually create something from a recipe, it's not just going to be here's a dagger +3. It's going to be with one random attribute or several random attributes. So not only are we farming for different materials and random drops and different recipes, even after we're making the recipes, we're going to get a random item, well, semi-random item from that recipe. So we're going to see a lot of, oh, my dagger came out with the wrong stats. I'm going to go ahead and salvage it, try and make another one.
Yeah, like probably in the rare, like for an example, if you get a rare recipe, say it has like three different stats you can do, like 20 to 60 fire damage, 20 to 60 ice, 20 to 60 poison, and then you craft it and it's like all 20 damage when it could be 60 damage. So yeah, like you said, you're just gonna keep crafting that over and over again until you get like the max amount you can.
I can
To
see
be
a lot
the
of
best
busted,
again.
a lot of busted keyboards on Blizzard's head there.
So, whenever you salvage an item, do you think it's going to have loss of value whenever you salvage it? Like it'll lose like a couple parts to it, and you'll have to go out, add some more stuff to it to do it over again, or at least pay more money, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be more money, or if it follows the standard Blizzard formula of you get less than you put in,
Yeah.
it's going to be, you're going to get some of your cost back, but not all of it.
Yep, kind of like
Right.
salvaging a bunker now in StarCraft 2. Not 100%. They figured out that deal.
Yeah, and I bet there's gonna be some like easy crafting things that you could do to kind of make like you could salvage again, and get better materials. So
Do you think instead of going out in... Well, here's a question. the salvaged material, is that going to only be obtained by salvaging items, or is it going to be stuff you can pick up from a monster drop, do you think?
Everything I've seen has only been from the salvaging of items. The monsters are just going to drop items. We're going to salvage them, but the higher quality that we dropped before, the higher quality materials. And that's not to say that Blizzard hasn't put it in. I just haven't read anything about them dropping direct materials.
Yeah.
Right, and more of what I was talking about is like, say you have like a dagger that requires bone and wood, but when you salvage it, it can like create 4 different kinds, and like you need common scrap or something. So you can use like all your bone and wood to craft the item, and then just go back and salvage it again for like common scraps or something. I bet that's going to be this crafting is just going to be so in depth when later on it's just going to be crazy of the type of stuff that you're going to have to do to get certain materials.
Yeah, I think crafting is going to definitely be a big part of the game. I mean, that's kind of why we devoted a whole episode to talking about it. It's pretty interesting. So, unless you guys have anything else to say.
Only that I wish this game were coming out sooner.
Yes, I wish I had beta right now.
Yeah, the beta is theoretically around the corner. I did scare quotes right there in case anybody wasn't watching me, in my room. But yeah, hopefully everybody's waiting for it to come around. But until it comes out, we're going to keep talking about different specifics in Diablo 3. And even after the beta comes out, we're going to keep doing these shows where we just talk about Diablo 3 and just try to inform ourselves as well as you. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them at the bottom of the video. And that's it. See everybody later.